So today we're gonna be talking about, I don't have the chat open either. I'll have that. There we go. Just in case. You're welcome to chime in with any questions or anything. This is, informal. Um, Hopefully you all can see the screen. I wanted to share what I've learned about using Astro recently because it's been really fun to use. And I thought that, it might be a good opportunity to share this with other folks. So to get into it, this is sort of what we're going to be going over today. We'll do a quick introduction and what we're, working on throughout this project. I'll talk a little bit about what is Astro and why you should be choosing it. And then we're going to do a demo building a site and then deploying it onto GitHub pages together. So think of it like a pair programming activity. You're welcome to jump in and provide suggestions or whatever, ask questions, whatever you would prefer. So to get started with our intro. So first, this is a group from PDX Women Coders. I will share the link to this Slack for anybody who wants that link in the chat. To meeting group chat. There you go. All right. Yes, so PDX Women Coders sort of evolved out of a few folks that were in Women Who Code Portland, which shut down last year. I think we're still trying to figure out sort of what this is going to be. We used to do a lot of education for folks in the Portland area. And yeah, we're still sort of, I think, figuring out exactly what this is, but this is one of, I thought that it might be a good opportunity to share this under that name. And then my name is Brittany. I am a senior software engineer at GitHub. I work on the billing team. And if you'd like, we should be internet friends because that would be fun. And I'll share all these links later. So what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about what Astro is, why I think folks should care about it, and how I build with it. And then, if there's time at the end and folks want to just talk, we totally can. Or if everybody wants to end early, then that's fine too, because it's Friday. So, and it's nice out. So what is Astro? It was created in 2021 by Fred Shute. It is an open source web framework and created with developer experience at the forefront of development. And just like a caveat, I don't consider myself like a super highly technical engineer. I also am never usually the one to jump in and like try the new thing just because it's new and fun. So this is sort of a new experiment for me in, trying something that was just fairly recently created. That's 4 years ago at this point. I saw that it was talked about quite a bit. Story time, I had been creating a bunch of React apps for folks, really just, quick landing page websites. And I was like, I'll just use React because that's what I'm familiar with. And I saw some chatter online where folks were talking about, oh, hey, what if you used something else that was actually, had the search engine optimization built in and was server-side rendered and all of that without necessarily having to go down the next JS route for, something that's really lightweight, like a landing page. So yeah, I gave it a shot and I realized, wow, this is really cool. And I'm really enjoying it, which is why I brought it up with the PDX Women Coders team that, what if we turned the React app for that into an Astro website? And that is exactly what we're doing today. It should be pretty quick and a very satisfying development experience. Sort of the core philosophy around it that I have learned online is there's zero JavaScript by default. So you're only going to use JavaScript. It's only going to compile with JavaScript in it if you really truly need it, which is a very big change from our current world of JavaScript frameworks where we're just loading these huge JavaScript bundles and it's causing a lot of problems for, especially in countries where, they don't have a ton of bandwidth that they can use to access websites. That's just not a super sustainable way that the JavaScript ecosystem has been heading. So zero JavaScript by default, which is really cool to learn about. It also uses incremental hydration, so it's only loading the JavaScript as you need it. So if in areas that you need it. So say it renders everything into HTML on the server before, generating the entire site, but say you have a search bar or something like that, it'll render the JavaScript that you need for the search bar as you need it. It is server-side first, so everything is rendered on the server, which makes it super fast to load. The performance is awesome. And it's really minimal configuration, especially if you're doing a lot of, markdown type content or something from, like a content management system. It's perfect for that use case, which is really cool. And like I said before, it's also open source. So, if I'm sure that the team, I can't speak on behalf of them because I'm not associated with the Astro team in any way. I'm just excited about it, but I'm sure that they would accept contributions if you were interested. One of the really cool breakthroughs around it is it introduced the idea of islands architecture. So, like I said, most pages are rendered only as static HTML, and it's using interactive components or the islands of JavaScript when it needs it, and then uses partial hydration of those JavaScript components. You can see an example here from this great article where, the server-side render, that's, what a lot of modern frameworks have moved towards as they realize that things like search engine optimization is important and having smaller JavaScript bundles is important. So that's, what Next.js is using. They're rendering a bunch of stuff on the server and then hydrate it all with React. Then there's the progressive hydration where they're rendering all of the components and then hydrate key components first. And then progressively render the remaining components as you need them. But then this islands architecture is really cool because it's going to compile everything that does not need JavaScript down to HTML and only progressively load the JavaScript as you need it, which makes things, lightning fast, which is super cool. So why would you choose Astro? Like I said, if you're concerned about performance, this is a really great tool to use. It's also framework agnostic. So if you are like a React developer or any other large JavaScript framework, then you can bring all of the tools that you used in these other frameworks and use it in Astro, which is really cool for somebody who doesn't like to learn new things. There's some full stack capabilities, so you can set up some server-side stuff if you need to, depending on what you need. It's very Markdown and MDX friendly, which, like I said, if you're just loading a blog or landing pages or something like that with a lot of Markdown, this is a perfect use case for it. It also is optimized for MDX, which, supports JSX type components inside of it, which is really cool. And the developer experience is just phenomenal. Like the docs are absolutely incredible, super easy to get started. I mean, I've built most of the landing pages that I've needed to build in, an hour or so, which is really cool. And then the APIs I find super simple to understand, which is obviously up to the individual person, but just to evangelize it a bit more. All right. So we're going to do a demo of actually building this. So like I said, we'll pair program this together. This is the existing PDX Women Coders website. It's a React app. It's pretty terrible. I built it middle of last year sometime. It's kind of awful, but there's not a lot to it. It was more just like, hey, let's get a domain and we'll figure out sort of what we're going to do now that things have changed with a lot of the DEI funding for a lot of these different major organizations. So you can check it out now at pdxwomencoders.com, and we are going to change it together. So one of the other things that I really love about Astro is they have all these themes available online. I am clearly, if you go back and look at this, I'm clearly not a designer. This square is actually meant to look like that. And I saw it online and I thought it looked cool. I was like, oh, I could recreate that. That is the extent of my design skills. So there are themes available so that you don't have to do this, which is really cool. They're all available on the Astro website. There are some that are paid, some that are free, and I figured we would go through there, choose a theme, and then, go from there. So this is the actual Astro website, and I actually found a theme already that I plan to use that we'll walk through beginning to end how to set this up. But you can check out that they have a bunch of other ones here if you have a specific use case, if you're doing an e-commerce app or, a portfolio website or something like that, then there's tons of different categories, free, paid versions. If you have a specific thing that you're looking for in terms of, TypeScript or React support, Tailwind, it's all available. Super cool that they provide this so that folks that are really good at the design part can do that part for you. So I was just going to pick, let's see here. Let's pick this modern company landing page. I don't know Corey Trim. I hope he's cool with me using this. So we're just going to get started. Most of these just link to, some of them link to websites where you can go download just a bundle of code, but a lot of them just link to GitHub. So that's where I'm getting it from. And we're going to just get started with this. Super duper easy. So let me open up a terminal window and, oh, not that for sure. Get a new one. And we will go find a spot. I will do this part off screen to get to my code repository. And okay, so we're gonna make a directory, PDX Women Coders 2. And we'll git clone. And then I think we can just go cd magical motion. Oh, repository not found. Don't you worry. I know how to fix this. And I will probably suggest this to fix theirs. So yeah, it looks like they renamed the repository. No biggie. So we'll do this again. If that ever happens to you, you can get the new link right there. We'll get cloned this Astro Modern Company theme. Cool, easy peasy. We will the change directory into the Astro Modern Company theme and install. Wait for that to go through. You can see there's not really a whole heck of a lot that needs to be included in here, which is awesome. And then I will get a code, VS Code screen set up. Window. Cool, nice. Okay, so we're all installed. I'll look into those things later and then we'll just run it. And actually I'm just gonna open it really quick here from this terminal so that it's all in VS Code. Documents. Astro. Let's see here. I don't think that I actually made a directory for that. Okay. This is why live coding is always really fun. So I will just clone this one more time because I'm not sure exactly where that ended up, but I don't know why I didn't just use the VS Code terminal to begin with. So we will git clone and npm install and then open it up and head to that one, and then we will open it up in VS Code. All right, so here we are. Let's get the lay of the land of what this looks like. So we have these pages, layouts, components, assets, so photos. And I'm going to open up a terminal so that we can actually take a look at this as we go through. So one thing to note is that this, all of the pages, all of the routing for Astro goes through these pages. So we just have one page here, which is perfect. That's all we need to get started with. So we'll do npm run dev to get this running. Astro not found. Cool, 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 cool. Okay, npm install. All right, now it's running. Okay, so it looks like we are on for localhost 4321, and you can see we already have this up and running. This is awesome. So this is our index landing page. I think that's the only thing we have here, and we can just go through really quickly and show what that looks like here. So let's see here. Yeah, so we have this index page. You can see here we have this hero component. If we want to make sure that everything's working, the first daily care motivation platform. Let's just change this to PDX Women Coders and make sure that we have everything wired up the way that we expect it to be. Boom. Look at that. Easy peasy. So we are going to save this image so that we can reuse it. I believe this was just an unsplash image. We'll just throw it on the desktop as hero. And I will add that to our assets so that we can recreate this. Here's our hero image. We'll throw that in assets. All right. Your company uses behavioral science to help people create, establish, and grow. Awesome. We're going to empower Portland women to grow and thrive in their careers. And then we can use this image. We'll just change this from hero image assets hero.jpg. And let's see here. Wow, look at that. Easy peasy. All right. We have a bunch of extra stuff in here that we can take out that is already in this index page. So you know what? We don't really need any of this other than that hero, right? So we can take that out. Cool. So we have a footer, a header, and this. If we're going to keep recreating this site, what do we got? We have an about, a contact page, and then a meetups page. So if we want to add a new page, I am just going to copy and paste this here. So we've got now about.astro and about PDX Women Coders. And I am going to remove this hero and just say H1 about. And I will change this title to PDX Women Coders. Nice. All right. So where are we at? Cool. So we have this, and then if we go to localhost/about, look at that. We have our H1 right there. Easy. Awesome. So we can take out all this extra junk that we are not going to need. And I will take this out as well. We can edit our layout so that it links to the correct things. So you can see here, these are the different ways that you can add stuff into Astro. So as you see here, we have a layout for this particular page. And then in this layout, we've got all the basic HTML, the header and footer. And then this slot means that anything that we are putting inside the children of this layout is what's going to go there. So that's sort of how it's all wired up. So if we want to edit the header, we can go to this header.astro component. Everything that is up here is all going to be JavaScript, and everything that's below here is going to be HTML. We can take out the logo. We don't have a logo. And call this PDX Women Coders. And then we have this nav items component here that is being rendered with a map. So let's change that. So we've got home. So we're just going to href that to slash. We've got about, which we will href to /about. Meetup, which we will just copy this because I think that's an actual link to meetups.com. And then contact. And let's see here, we'll do /contact. All right, and contact us. We can keep this. Let's just make this a contact page, and then really quickly we'll just make a contact page here. So we can see that everything is all wired up. Call this contact, and then contact us. Easy peasy. Okay, so what do we got? Got meetups, contact. Oh, we still have this resources. We don't need resources. Get rid of that. But you can see here, we've got PDX Women Coders. We've got our entire setup up here. We've got a call to action button. Awesome. So we've got an about page, a contact page, and a home page. Cool. We'll come back to the footer, but overall, we just got this set up in like 10 minutes. Super easy. That's awesome. All right, so I'm going to remove this. There is some stuff that I won't get into right now about how Astro does image saving, which is cool to look into if that's a thing that you are into. We also have, let's see here, so this about page. So let's go steal the copy that we have here, about us. So we've got, I'm assuming this is an H1, and then a paragraph, and then probably an H2 underneath, I would think, if we are following semantic HTML. All right, H2, and we will, let's see here, copy this into here. Our mission, and then we'll copy that. Helps that this is a very easy website to begin with, but here we go. Our about page could use some styling, but we've got all the stuff there, which is great. And then we've got a contact page here. So we've got contact, get in touch, and we've got a call to action button we want to add, and then this. Okay. So, and then we'll put a button below that. So let's see here. So all of these different components, you can see that they are also written as HTML components. We can take a look and see we already have this call to action button, which is pretty cool. I wonder, oh wait, no, that is not a button. This is a section of the page. But image left. Let's see if we have a button here that we can leverage. Because I know we had one on the header, right? Let's go to header. Oh, it's just a link that is styled as a button. I'm not really sure actually what if we're going to be having just an email to link, which I believe is all that this button is. I wonder if that is supposed to be a link or a button shaped like a button. We'll reuse this just for the sake of simplicity. And I feel like since that is an actual link, here we go. So we have a contact, and what does this one say? Email us, which I believe is just going to be, what does this do? Open arc. Yeah. You know what? Let's go see. What is the link here? Wow, I didn't do a very good job of making this accessible. We'll just make it an email too. And I will do what? Mail to. And I'll just put my own in there for right now. All right. All right, look at that. We've got an email button with a mail to. That's great. Okay, so we have a little bit of styling we could probably do before we push this up. The footer has kind of a lot going on here that we can probably clean up. Let's see here. Footer. Like I said, we don't need an image. Your company is actually going to be PDX Women Coders. And we do have a tagline we can throw in there from the index hero. Boom. Quick links, we'll probably just do the same exact links as the nav links. We can just copy those directly from here. Looks like my automatic styling might be off. I'll save. And stay connected. We can probably get rid of some of this extra junk that we don't need. We will reserve the social links for something else. There we go. Let's take a look and see what we got going on now. There we go. That looks nice. Okay. So let's clean up this about page and the contact page. This one goes to meetup.com, so we don't really need to do anything there. So we want to style this text a little bit better, and then we will push it up live. All right, so on about us, let's just see what we can reuse from this hero image. I think this is all, let's see here, we'll copy this. I think this is all Tailwind stuff. I'll be honest, I'm not super familiar with Tailwind, but it looks like it is Tailwind to me. And we'll maybe make this a little bit smaller. All right, so make the text pretty large. Serif for making it bold, gray, and adding a margin bottom of 6, I believe is what we're doing there. That looks great. We also want to center the text. So I'll just really quickly look up Tailwind, center text, text align, text center. Cool. And see if that gets us what we want. It does. Okay, and I think we need some margin on the top. So I'm just gonna do, instead of margin bottom 6, what is that? X? No, Y? All right, so now that's adding margin on bottom and top. Great. And then our mission, we will do the same thing, but make it a little bit smaller. Maybe 3XL. Cool. Okay, and we'll do text center on these paragraphs. I'm sure that I could do a better job of reusing these styles, but here we go. Centered text, and we'll just throw a div around this whole thing to make it more of a container. And let's see here, we want to add some margin on top and bottom. So that is the margin, Y meaning top and bottom. And actually, let's do margin. We'll just do M dash 24. Does that work? There we go. So we're adding margin on all different sides. Looks great. I'm sure it looks terrible on a mobile device. We can check that really quick. Yeah, we'll have to change it on a mobile device. So I got to remember what that is. So is that, I think large is that, and then we would want to do margin dash 8. Does that do it? Yeah, there we go. So a little bit less margin on a mobile device. Looks fine right there though. Again, reuse the same sort of stuff, same sort of styling here. I'm gonna just copy this over to the contact page. And we will reuse some of these styles here so that it looks a little bit better. Text center. And I'll have to look into how to style a link. There we go. I wonder if we can just use text center on the link too. I feel like this would not center the actual link. It would probably center. Yeah, I feel like that's probably not centering the link. That's probably centering the text inside of the link. So we want to center it inside of this container. No problem. We can probably use something better. The like classic problem of aligning something in the center. We could put flex around everything. Let's see here. Where are the flex styles? Flex box. Display. What's the display flex for Tailwind? Oh. And actually, I'm just going to use these tools really quick to make sure that I'm actually making the thing that I want to make. So let's see here. We have this. What happens if we add display flex to this element? Ooh. Okay. And then flex direction. We want to make this a column. This does not look like the text is aligned there. We want to probably add to this specific element text align center. Max width 200 pixels, and we want to center everything inside of this flex box too. So what is that going to be? Items center. There we go. And then we will add margin top 20 pixels, 16 pixels. There we go. That looks all right. Doesn't look like this max width is doing anything, but I guess it's probably because, do we need the text align center? I don't think we do. We just need the margin top. All right, so we just need to figure out how to do these things in here. We will need what flex column. So we'll do that on this div and figure out whatever align items, center, items, center. And then we just need display flex. Display flex. Display flex. And then I think that there was some margin around. Oh, what are we doing here? Is that just flex? Okay. And I don't think that the order here necessarily matters, but I'm going to move this a little bit earlier just for the sake of looking at these things. All right, and then we wanted some margin around this button. Easy peasy. We'll just do margin Y 8. All right, and refresh. There we go. We got a contact page. We got an about page. We got a home page. Not bad. Okay, so last step is we want this to be on the actual website because this actual website kind of sucks. I can say that because I did it. So yeah, that's valid. So what we're gonna do is go to github.com/PDX Women Coders. So we are currently using, we have the website hosted here, not a whole lot here, and I haven't touched it in 8 months, it looks like. So prime time to start a new repository. So what I'm going to do is create, I think I'm just going to create a new repository for this instead of overwriting the existing one. And I'm going to call this PDX Women Coders website. Make it public because why would we not? All the code's now public anyway, so here we go. And I will, let's see here. We need to change this, whatever the get remote is, which I will need to remind myself how to do that. Let's see here, get status. Okay, so I want to change the remote to this new one. So I think I can just do remote add origin. But origin already exists. All right, so let's do remove origin remote. Get remote set URL. Instead of removing and re-adding, you can do this. Okay, get remote set URL origin. Okay, so get remote set URL origin. And then I will copy pasta our new location. All right, get status. We're gonna add everything to main and push it up. Everything's up to date. So now if we refresh, we should see all of this code here. I hope. The requested URL returned at 400. I think I've actually seen this before, and I just have to set something really quick. Git push failure, git config, there it is. All right, there we go. Cool. All right, so let's see here. Git add. One of the cool things that this does is this keeps all of the existing Git history, which is kind of nice if you want to look into it, but you can also, you know, remove that if you'd like by just deleting the Git files and creating a new Git repository. But I kind of like seeing the Git history just to see, you know, everything that has happened on it previously. So we're going to say make PDX Women Coders site. Push that up. And now our new stuff should be there. Look at that. So the one last step to getting all of this to run is I'm going to go to the existing website. Oh, wait, no, that one's not using the action that I wanted to use. I'm going to go pull the action from another repo that I have that is already building. Open, that I know is already building with GitHub Actions, which is my preferred one because it's free. And then we will push it up on GitHub pages. So let's see here. My personal website is doing that. Oh, so is this one, Balanced Engineer. Not that one. Here we go. Yeah, so this is my other Astro site for my newsletter. What we're going to do is we're just going to get this deploy script, and we're not going to need that key. We'll just deploy it. Okay, so to create a new action, we will create a .github folder, because I don't think there is one yet. .github, and then we are going to create workflows, and then create deploy.yaml. Copy and paste this in here. So I'm going to remove this step because we don't have to actually set these environment variables. We don't need them. But we do want that one. So this is going to check out the repository. It is going to install everything with Astro. Luckily, this is another thing that Astro gives you out of the box, is an ability to do this, which is super cool. And then we are going to build to GitHub pages. And for some reason, it says the name of the environment used by the job. GitHub pages is not valid. I think that that's a lie, but we'll see. Yeah, this did not have anything to do with that. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna remove that and add this. And here we go. Add deploy script. No, there's a million other places that you can use too for deploying these things. Okay, so let's see if we have our GitHub folder. We do. Awesome. So we will already start actions. That's awesome. So this is running. It's going to build and then deploy, hopefully without any issues. One other thing I'm going to do is just make sure that this is set up to deploy from GitHub Actions. There we go. And I'll change the domain in just a little bit. I've never actually done that before, so we'll see how that goes. We are running this with actions. Usually it doesn't take too long, maybe a minute or so. All right, cool. Okay, and build step is done, and now we're just waiting for it to deploy to pages. Excellent. Okay, so if we go to the code, well, actually, let's see here. Let's go to the pages settings, and we can check it out, hopefully, right here. Oh, that doesn't look great. I'm going to rebuild it. I've had this occur previously, and I got to remember exactly what happened here. I think part of it was, I think that there was a setting that we might need to set. I need to remind myself. We'll let that reset. See if there's anything that we need to do related to this. I don't think so. While that's building, I'm just going to go steal the repositories, website, settings, see if there's anything that we need to do to change this. I think I'm just going to remove it and then change it to this new custom domain here. Pages, custom domain, save. This domain should already be set up with all of the things that we need, because this is what I was using previously. But if you are curious about building custom domains, there's like some DNS things you need to add, and this link always has it. So you can go here and learn all about what you need to add to make sure that your custom domain will work with pages. I think it also has to be a public repo, but I'm not totally sure. That's a thing I probably should know. All right, let's see here. So we have the website live. Boom. All right, here we go. We have a few things that we need to change, but this is now on the internet. In half an hour, we have a brand new website. Cool. Not bad. All right, I think that's more or less, I mean, there's a lot more to learn about Astro. There's a lot more that I need to learn about it, but I will just open it up for anybody that wants to chat if you would like to, and stop sharing.